Good morning, folks. How are you all doing today? Sunday today, wet and miserable here in Leicester. I hope you've got better weather than what we have, wherever you are. Right, so today I'm going to do a little bit of an inky background. I want to use my pink ink Podfather today. I thought, I've not played with the whale for a long time, so we're going to have a go with him today. Podfather, beautiful stamp set. We've got several other whales here as well, and a fish, and some splooshes, and a couple of nice little, what we've got, sentiments, the Podfather, and we've got whale. What do we have here? Oh, it's your birthday. So some nice little sentiments there as well. I may put a different sentiment on. Thinking I might make a birthday card. I don't know yet. We might even leave sentiment till later. Quite often I do. So I want to get a nice inky background for this. So I've got my pink ink inks and also some cosmic shimmer inks. Now these cosmic shimmers, watercolour inks, I believe Cosmic Shimmer originally made the Pink Ink Designs Inkit inks, I believe. Don't quote me on it. I'm sure that's what I heard Kathy say on one of her demos. But so I'm doing a bit of a mixture. So it's all really pretty much the same stuff. It's watercolour inks. I've got in the Cosmic Shimmer, I have this. I'm going to add a little bit of green to this because I like my water to have a little bit of green tint to it. So this one is called Fresh Meadow. That's the Cosmic Shimmer one. Now you can get these also with pearlescent in them. The only thing I find with pearlescent, it's fine for it's good for colouring with, but if you're going to use it for a background, because you've got so much shimmer in there and it is gorgeous, it's hard to stamp on top of the shimmer unless you're going to use what do you call it, where you stamp it and put you embossing. That's it, unless you're going to emboss it with embossing powder. Oh, brain dead today. Right, so we've got this lovely green, Fresh Meadow green, a lightish sort of mid blue. This is called Blue Skies. That's the two Cosmic Shimmers. I'm also going to add a little bit of the Pink Ink Inkit's Cool Waters, which is a very pale blue, very pretty pale blue. And I've got this dark one as well, which is the Midnight, also from the Pink Ink Inkits. This one I want to use possibly for colouring in the whale. It's a little bit darker. Now in here I have, this is just a bleach solution. It's just a little bit of bleach, cheapo bleach, in some water. I'll just keep it in my little jar, so I've always got some on hand. I'm going to chop the corners off with my 3-way punch, and I'm going to be using VersaFine Clair Nocturne for stamping with. I've got my palette already with some colours in it, and that's looks very dark in there, looks black in there, but that's the Midnight Blue in there, which I shall use from my palette to paint with. And I also have my water spritzer, which today I've had to have a good clean out because I left water in it last time I used it, and I got algae growing in the bottom, so I gave that a good clean out, so it's fine to use now. Right, my card. We have an A5 card, which is 15 by 21 centimetres, and the mat I'm doing in green to pull out the green of the water, as it were. 13.5 by 19.5 centimetres. My topper, this is multimedia card. This I believe I bought from Hobbycraft on a spiral pad. I've had it quite a long time now, and it's lasted me very well. And it's fine for doing your watercolour on. It takes your water very well. And this is 13 by 19 centimetres. Okay, so we'll put that aside. I've already glued that down just to save a bit of time. You don't want to watch me gluing. So I've done that already. So to start with, let's make sure I've got some tissue paper for mopping up any excess water. Now I'm going to spray the back of my card. Actually, first of all, I'm going to cut my corners off because then it's done. I do quite like my rounded corners. So that's that done. To start, let's get rid of them little bits. It's great having one of these mats down. It's a silicone mat. Stops everything from sliding around and you don't get mess on your table. It's easy to keep clean. But it's blooming hard when you come to pick little pieces up and you can't sweep them off your desk. So with my spritzer, I'm going to spray the back first. This will stop my card from curling when I spray the front, because I don't want it to curl up and then all the ink runs off the sides. So I'm just going to give that a quick spritz on the back. And now I'm going to spritz the front all over. I want it quite wet because I want the ink to run and blend. Sometimes you get that spidery effect, which is lovely when it does do it. Right, so I'll put the darkest one on first. No, actually I'll put my blues on first because I want to make sure I've got enough of my blue before I add the green, really, I think. So this is the Pink Inks Cool Blue. And I'm just going to dot it here and there. See how it's spiders? It kind of, I love that effect. It doesn't always stay though, unfortunately. Oops. Put a bit more in. And I mean, I probably will dab most of this off, to be honest. A lot of it anyway. I don't know if I'm going to need a mixture of blues. That's the really pale one. And how dark is this one going to be? Oh, it's a different, yeah, it's definitely a different tone there. To get that blending in as well. And I'm going to add a little bit of green. I'll just spritz that edge there a little bit. I just want that to move a little bit more. That's it. And the green, just a little bit of green here and there. This one's quite a dark green. I'm hoping these will all blend in nice together. Now that looks like an awful lot of ink, doesn't it? And it would be an awful waste just to mop it up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get another piece of card, because I can, slightly bigger piece. And I'm going to use it to mop up some of that colour before I go wiping it off everywhere else, because it just seems a shame to waste it. I hope that's not ruined my background. Oh, look at that. So you get those lovely colours blending in there. Look at that, beautiful. A little bit of green added in as well. I'm going to spritz that a bit more. And get 2 for 1 out of this. And why not, I ask myself. Right, look at that, beautiful. I'm going to put that down somewhere. I'm covered in ink now. And I'm going to mop some of this up because I can see I've got the greens and stuff on there. I'm going to move that green a little bit. There's an awful lot of water on there. I did use far too much ink, to be fair. But never mind. Right, so I'm going to mop a lot of that up. Now the bleach, I quite often use bleach for colouring to take out colour where it's not wanted. But I'm also like to use it to mottle my edges. I will show you what I mean in a moment. There. That's lovely, isn't it, on its own? That's took out too much colour now, I think. But at the same time, I didn't want it to be too dark because I want to see my whale in there as well. So you get those different hints of colour in there. Let's mop that up. Get rid of any excess so I don't get myself covered in it. That is nice. I'm liking that. That's very pretty with that blue, that green running through it. I'm liking that. Now normally I would like to leave that to dry, but I'm not going to at the minute. I'm going to still put some. Right, what I was saying about the bleach was this. Now you can put bleach in there while it's still wet and you'll get lighter patches coming in. But because this is a deep inner sea, I want it to be a full-on colour. So that was them 3 inks there used. So I'm going to find a brush that's not too big, just a smallish brush. And I just want to dab speckles around the edge. I want to take some of that blue from around the edge. And when it's speckledy like this, you'll see what effect I get, and you'll see where I'm coming from, and it looks lovely. It's a bit of a cheat way of doing things, but we don't mind cheating occasionally, do we? But I like how you get this mottledy edge then. And it's funny, you use the bleach, and it's funny how it changes the colours of your paints as well. So you've got that pinky tint coming through right now. Right, so dab that in there. See if I can find a cleanish patch on my tissue. And now I'm going to take up the excess of that bleach. So now I've got a nice central bit in the blue. See what I mean? You've got that bluey green colour, and you've got that lovely mottled edge. I do like that effect. So that's for that. I might come back to that for taking out some of the colour in my whale. We'll see how he goes when he's stamped on. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a dry. I don't want to do too much, I don't want it to curl up and go too crispy, as it tends to when you dry it by hand. Turn the table up as well, that will help. Maybe the curling back up again. I love that colouring on there, it's very pretty colouring. Right, I think that'll do it. It should be dry enough to stamp on now. Right, so yeah, still a little bit damp, but it's dry enough to stamp on. Right, so the old faithful stamping platform. I'll stamp it this way because then it's just easier to get the whole whale on there, as opposed to trying to get it on his tail on the edge or whatever over there. And I want to have him quite low down, so let's see what have I got. I just love that beautiful splashy effect that you get, and because we're in water, it's just ideal, isn't it? And he will fit on there beautifully, I believe. Bring him this way a bit, we don't want him too far. Looks like he's flying off the page, do we? Put the magnets this side because that's where it pulls up mainly. Right. Ink the Podfather up. This is a beautiful stamp, this whale. I love how Kathy adds all these little squirrelies and adds little leaves and things on. You know, it's beautiful how she does all that. Just so glad Pink Ink are now back with us. We was worried for a while after Creative Expressions took them over and then closed down. We were worried what was going to happen with Pink Ink, but we're back. We're back. Thank goodness. Where would we be without Kathy's beautiful artwork? Well, Kathy and Mel's, they're both a very big part in both, aren't they? Kathy draws, but Mel does a lot of the guidance in it, I think, in what we are and aren't going to use. Right, let's make sure that's well stamped all over. If not, we'll have another go. I think I'll have another go. It's a little bit patchy here and there, so I'll have another go. He's beautiful though, isn't he, this whale? Very handsome chap. That's it. The thing is, sometimes when I've used watercolours or you know, different inks or whatever to get this kind of a background, I've done it by splashing the ink onto the paper, and you don't always get what you want to get. And I find that using the bleach, putting the colour down first and then taking some out, because you can always add more colour, you know, and then if it's too much you can bleach it out. So I prefer to do it that way, and I think you get, I don't know, I just prefer the effect doing it this way, taking the colour out rather than pouring it on and leaving it solid. Take parts out. Right, I think that's better. I've got his complete fin in place now. I've got blue fingers, just try and get some of that off so it doesn't go anywhere else. Just making sure. Usual damp cloth, well, a bit wetter than damp, just to keep your stamps nice and clean. You know me, I like to clean up as I go along. Right, so we'll probably add other things in there as well, but for now we'll just concentrate on the whale. Oh yeah, he is lovely. And what I think I might do, shall we have him in a dark blue? I don't know if dark blue will be too much, to be honest. I'm wondering now whether to colour him in a different colour. Let's have a look. Make him really stand out, but I think I am going to do blue. Yeah, I'm going to use that dark blue. Let's see where we're going. If I don't like it, bleach it out and start again, can't I? So this is quite, it does look dark actually, but let's go with it. It's not too dark once you put it down on your card. Oh yeah, I think that's a nice enough colour. You can still see all the little details underneath, so I know where to put my spots and things, won't I? I just wanted him to be a different shade to, you know, to the water itself. Strange noises going on outside. It's been quite noisy around here. Just like I live where I'm living, it's very much an Asian area. We love it here. We've got everything we need here, and people are lovely here, and people actually speak to you here. Don't get that an awful lot in a lot of places. People can be quite rude, but since we moved here, we've made, you know, a good impression on the neighbours, and they've made a good impression on us. You know, they are very nice people. And but it's they've got their Diwali season, their Christmas. I believe Diwali is, isn't it, their Christmas? And so there's been a lot of fireworks and things going on at the moment. It's nice. I like it. I can just look out my back window and it's all there. I've got a, you know, display there on my doorstep, as it were. But Diwali festival starts on the 20th, I believe. So we will be going down the road to join in the festivities with the community. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll just have a little bit of time down there, you know, because we can. And yeah, really looking forward to that. It's going to be noisy with all the fireworks going on at whatever point. Luckily, my cat doesn't bother about fireworks at all. She's a street cat. she's obviously lived out in that for many, many years, and she's probably just thinking, phew, at least I'm indoors, I ain't got to worry about getting my ass blown off, you know. So she's quite happy to sit and watch out the window as it all happens. There, that's nice, isn't it? It's lovely, a nice lovely blue. I wonder if I've got another paler blue to go underneath, or whether to do him a green. I might add a bit of green in his colour. Let's add, not the pearlescent, let's add, where's it gone? There it is. A little bit of Pink Ink's Lime Burst. I'm just going to add a little bit to that blue and get a slightly different colour, because why not? I know whales are not particularly green, but a greeny blue colour underneath, it'd just be nice, I think. Why not? It's our world, we can have whatever we like. We can have whatever colours we wish, and I think that will look nice. Oh, it's starting to get a bit dark. It's so we have got rain, and it is turning quite dark at this very moment. So we're probably going to have a heavy downpour in a bit rather than just a bit of drizzle. There, see, I think that looks quite nice, and why not? We can have a whale with a green belly if we want to, can't we? Yeah, oh, he's pretty. He's a pretty guy. Right, for his tail, add a bit more blue to that. We'll have a bit of a mixture. So he's got all these lovely patterns on his tail, but I'm just going to paint it all blue, this bluey green. Because we can. Actually, that's more the shade I wanted for underneath as well, a bit darker. So I like to lay all my colour first, and then I'll bleach out what's not really needed, these lighter shades. So there's his tail. Oh, I do like that, that's a nice colour. A bit more blue than green. Right, okay. So let's just, oh no, we've left his fin out, haven't we? Let's just clean that off. Need some blue on his fin. A bit too much water on my brush. This one I'd like to be quite dark because it's the one at the back, it's further, it's set back. Be careful that I don't spread too much. Don't want it to go outside my lines, it has done a little bit. Let's get a smaller brush. It will bleed because there's other ink already down there. Bubbles in these waves. I want them kind of bluey whiteness. See, that's blue, that's now blending into that blue above because it's quite wet. That's fine because I quite like that. I'm going to mix it in. With my dry brush. There, see how it blends. See how that blends. Oops, just blends into the colour underneath. I'm liking that. I'm going to give that a quick dry. dust underneath, keep your paper flat. Okay. Right, so now I think actually before I go, I was going to do the bleach work next, but I think while I've got some green in here, I'm going to do those leaves, and I'm going to do these leaves green because I can. Let's have a look. What about this pearlescent green? I don't know if that'll... These obviously need a good shake. Just going to add a little bit of that pearlescence just there. There's my small tiny brush. Get most of the water out of it, give it a shake, that's it. And what I want to do is paint these leaves with a little bit of shimmer, why not? Yeah, I love how Kathy adds all these little spriglets and bits, it's lovely. And then all these swirly bits, I'm thinking about whether to do those in white. You know, like the waves, frothy waves. Got all of those pieces. And then there's some little splashes there as well, so maybe I'll do them in blue. I suppose they could be done in white as well. Right, so I think that's all the little spriggly bits done. I don't know what these are just doing, I'll just do them in green as well, just to be... Any more of those? Yeah, there's some there. Oh, is that it? Yeah, it's alright, I thought I dipped in the wrong one then. We're all good. We're all good. A little bit there as well. Little plant life in the pond, as it were. I'll show you up close in a minute how much it shimmers. Perhaps I could add a little line of shimmer on him to make him look really like he's really shining. Okay, I think that's it for them. I don't know if you can, it's still wet, so you can't really tell that it's... That's it. I don't know if you can see that shimmer on those leaves. It's probably a small detail. It's still a little bit wet, but I'll put some in on him later. What I'll do now is I want to use this bleach. I'm just going to dab them to make sure they're... Don't want the bleach getting on them. You can see it shimmer now. Perhaps I won't pick up on there because it's tiny detail. I'm going to use my bleach now. I want to take some of the colour out of the whale to make it look like that's his shiny parts, which would be on his back at the top where the light hits. So I'm just running that bit across there. It's actually changing the colour of the ink altogether. I'm going to make it a little bit fuzzy if I can, instead of it being a perfect straight line. It's made it go kind of a greyish colour, isn't it? That's good, I like that. And I want to do a bit around there. and a bit around his eye. Like that. And I'll have that little bit coming down the front of his fin as well. See? And a little bit on his fin on the other side. Gives me a bit of a greyish tint, doesn't it? Let's take a bit more out of the top there. So you can do this and take out as much as you want until you've got white. But I don't want to take too much out, but I also want to bleach some of this green as well. But it is, it's really turning white, isn't it? It's turning really white. Yeah, I didn't want it to go quite that white, but we can always put colour back in. So that's the good thing about it, is you can add colour back in. And the details on his tail. You can stop it going further, give it a dab. And then we've got these little white splashes in his patterning. Yeah. Water that bleach down a bit. Yeah, it's took a lot of colour out, more than I really wanted. That's alright, what we take out we can put back in. Now before I put that colour in, I'm going to use this bleach also to do these waves. And I'm hoping it will take out the colour that we put down in the background. Obviously the more it soaks in, the more it'll take out. And all the bubbles in between can stay blue. And you don't need an expensive bleach for this to work. It doesn't have to be a good thick bleach. Any old cheap old stuff will do. Cheaper the better actually. So. I do like to have a good bleach for around the house, but this cheap bottle I keep just for doing this. So you see where I'm going with that, so all these wavy bits, I want them to be pale. Who'd ever thought, colouring with bleach, or uncolouring with bleach, really, isn't it? We're uncolouring, taking it out. That's all the wavy bits now done. So now I can get this coloration that I've took out too much of, and I can put that back in, but I can do it really pale. Right, so let's just rinse that bleach off that. And I do want it to be really, really pale, that underneath bit. I'm going to dry that off actually, because if it bleach is wet, it's going to just take the colour back out. I found that on, if you can still hear me over this, I found that on some papers, on the pink frog, that's really good for watercolouring, it will hold your water. But I find that if I use bleach on that and then colour over it, the bleach continues to work, even after I've dried it, it still takes the colour back out. But on the multimedia and watercolour paper, it doesn't, or it didn't the last time I tried it. So where I'm colouring over the bleach, it should cover. I don't mind it taking a little bit out, but I don't want it to be too much. Let's put that there. Right, so now I'm going to go back in with my paintbrush and my palette, and I'm going to put some of that colour back in, but I want it really watery though. So that's it, add a lot of water onto that. So I want it to be really pale. I took a bit too much out. That's it, so we've got him coloured again now. We don't want him too white, do we? And then I'm going to do the same with that blue. Not to be really pale, so wet my brush a lot, but not too much, make it bleed. So you can put that colour back on. But it's still lighter than his main colour. Which was quite dark. Okay. I don't want it to be a colour this way, I want it to have some colour. Just adding a bit of water to this now just to blend it in with the top. There we go. Now isn't he lovely? It's beautiful. See how those colours fade from pale to dark? Or fade from dark to pale, should I say. You can't fade from pale to dark, can you? There, I think that's lovely now. I'm really pleased with that. Just going to take out a little bit more of that blue there. Get that back into his tail. That's it. We's good. I think we's good. A bit more water around this eye. There we are. Just take a bit of that out there. There we have him. Isn't he beautiful? So we don't end there. Right, we'll just move that palette out of the way. I'm all blue as well. Right, so give that another quick dry. He's had quite a good soaking, so I'm giving him a good bit of drying this time. It will come through the other side. The dampness will. So, right. So I think he's looking absolutely gorgeous as of now. I love that. I think he's gorgeous. He's a gorgeous stamp, this one. Right, my bleed proof white. And my fine brush, put a bit of water in there, get some of the bleed proof white out of here. I think I might need a bit more than that. Load up my brush with it. Oh, there we go, got a good old bit in there now. Give that a good old mix. And take some of that off over there, got a bit too much. Got a little bit more water, I think, a little bit too thick. Right, so I've loaded up my brush. I take as much off as I can without taking it all off. And now I'm going to put a little bit of white in some of these details. We've faded the blue out, but then I want to make them bright white to give it the effect of a shine. And these little waves, they do come round like that. Just want to be able to see that bit of pattern on his tail, because it's pretty. Like so, and then I'm going to have a little bit of white, just a tiny little bit, to follow this shape of him. Because that gives a nice white glow, like the light's hitting him on the top of him. Like that. And I'm going to do a little bit around where his mouth is, because that will make that stand out so you can see him smiling. Do a little bit around there. Oh, that's not his mouth, that's his nose bit. That's where this bit's his smile. Add a bit more on there. That bit is his smile. And this is his eye detail. So we're going to give him a little white eye. There you go. We'll do the white edge down his fin. And same down the one at the back. Like that. And then I'm going to do a little bit, just not too much, just to blend that into the green. But I don't want to lose those lines. Like that. And a little bit on his underbelly. Keeping this bit very pale though. Like that. It's amazing, isn't it? A little bit of white here and there, it does brings them to life. See that? A bit of water to spread this whiteness just here. A bit more water, just a tiny spit of water. Just to blend that out a little bit, so it being just a solid line. Double water. That's it. And now I'm going to use a thicker, still take some off, put it on and take some off. Use a little bit thicker to colour in his spots, because why not? Just add a little bit of colour here and there on his spots. If they're like freckles, you know, if they have these spots and things, it's like the same equivalent as us having freckles. Who knows, maybe I'll Google it and find out. Got some little spot details on him, so we'll put those in. Just adds to him, I think. It's like I've got a couple of barnacles stuck on him as well here. So cut them carefully. This brush comes to such a fine point at the end. Unfortunately, it does curl. Even when I've not left it in my jar, it still tends to curl a little bit, but hey ho. A little bit of white in my waves, because there's some of them have got some colour still in them, so I'm going to take that out. Plus it will make them shine. Most of them are alright, I think. It's got a bit of blue in it, so we'll put a bit of white in that one. I do want those waves to stand out as a separate to the whale. I think we're about there with that. Let's put a little bit in some of the leaves. Just give them some shine. Don't really need it, it's shiny as it is. They are quite shiny. Just adds a bit, I think. Yeah. How lovely is he? The Podfather. Now, also, while I've got this white in the lid, I will just grab those little splashes. There's a few here and there knocking around. There's one. Little splashes of water. There we go. And I think we are there. Well, my brushes are good. Tumble in there. Flick out the excess. Put the lid back on that. What do you think to that? I think I'm going to put a little bit of black around that eye. And I can grab hold of my pen. Just a little bit so it stands out a bit more. There you go. Job's good in. Anything that I've done white and gone over the edge, we don't want that because it won't stand out as a separate part, so I need to just put that line back in. That's it. So we know he's there. I think that's okay. And that line there. Because that's where his mouth opens. There, I think that's a beautiful stamp. Just go over that line to make sure he stands out well. Actually, I've missed some white, haven't I? Let's get that lid back off. And a little bit on his tail. So I've got the tiniest little bit on there. I don't know if you can see that. Put a bit on his tail there. Follow it around. That's it. I knew something was missing. Follow that round like that. I think that is. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else to put any more white onto. I think that's looking rather nice. Suppose I could put a bit there. There. Add a bit of feature to his tail, didn't it? That's it. So peeps, what do you think to that? Now I'm thinking, let's have a look, what else we've got in this set. And this is why I wanted to do green on the outline, on the outside, because although he's mostly blue, that green edging will, it pulls the green through, if you get me, it adds to it. Whereas if I'd have had a blue edging, everything would look so blue. And that pulls that green out. Of course, I've got to have a bit of green in there because you all know, as you all know, it is my favourite colour. Whatever shade of green it is, I love it. Right, he needs to go back on his packet. And there. Right, what else have we got? What can I put around? Should we put some of these flowers around or some bubbles? And just stamp a couple of these flowers. And there are some splashes. You've got this where you have the, you know, when they splash the water out there, spout at the top. But I don't think I want to use that. I might just put a couple of these flowers here and there. Just because I can. Might even colour them a slight pinky colour or something like that. I think it needs something more. It's just, I don't just want to leave it like that. A couple of the bigger ones. Don't need too much. We don't need to colour them either, but I just think it'd look nice if we had something a bit more than what's just there. And I suppose I could put a sentiment. I'm not going to put a sentiment on today. Because I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet. So I think it'd be nice just to leave the sentiment off for now. I think that's enough, don't you? That's it. See, it just fills in those little spaces. Should we add a bit of colour or not? What do you think? I think probably not, actually. So, there we are with our lovely, lovely pink ink Podfather. What do you think to that? Pretty? I do sometimes put a pen border around, but I don't think I'm going to do that for this one. I will glue it down. I think I'm going to need to put some weighty on top of it as well because it is quite buckled. If I won't glue it until I'm ready to get the weight on top of it. So there we go, folks. What do you think to that? I think that's really pretty and I'm very pleased with how that's come out, personally. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope I gave you a bit of insight with doing the backgrounds, using your inks with the backgrounds. Like I say, sometimes you put it down, you think, damn, I've got far too much there. Bleach it out. Bleach it out. It's that simple. Cheap, cheap bleach. Do the job. So, I will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. Take care of yourselves and, yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.